Good Thursday morning, East Tennessee. My name is David Aldridge, Chief Meteorologist of Captain Accurate Weather, coming to you by way of the Captain Accurate Weather Command Center. It's another cold morning, but all things considered, all things relative, it's not as bad as it was yesterday morning. Now, I say it's bad because some of you may be maybe not too comfortable with the cold air, but I do see a 33-degree reading. That's still technically above freezing. Think about how cold it was yesterday because we started the morning off around just before 5 a.m. Yesterday at 24. So 24 to 33, that's a big improvement, right? It's 34 right now in Morristown, 33 in Rockwood. It's freezing in Crossville this morning, and we do have some clouds that will linger for much of the morning hours, but then the rest of the day looks sun-filled, but it remains chilly. Chilly to the tune of low to mid 40s. About 44 is about where I expect to be this afternoon. But the visibility, not too bad. In fact, because we have the clouds, we're not going to have a whole much in the way of fog reports. But the temperature change is about 7 degrees warmer now than it was this time yesterday. So for what it's worth, it is cold enough to see your breath, but it's not all that warm and balmy as this image would suggest. But that's, again, the temperature change over the last 24 hours. Visibility, there we go. About 10 miles in Knoxville. That's the max you'll find. So we've got maybe a little bit of cloud cover that might have reduced visibility down to 8 or 9 miles in Athens and Crossville. So it's pretty quiet, all things considered. They did have a report. Got a note here. I'll pass along to you and say good morning to you. We're live on both YouTube and Facebook. So if you have a comment, love to see what you're thinking or maybe an observation. But I did note the Weather Service said that McGee-Tyson Airport had a trace of precipitation. Now, what is a trace? Traces, you can't measure it, but it fell. I know it fell, but I can't put my fingers on it. I can't measure it. But they did report some light rain and sleet last night. So what might have been virga, that moisture that evaporated on the ground, they held some observations, and maybe you did too. So if you have some notes, let me know. I see Dawn Coleman. She's got some snowflakes here on Facebook, in her comment, I should say. Fred says, good morning, David. Not as frosty this morning. He's got 2 cups of coffee. Glad to have you there, Fred. And Dennis Hatcher says, in Dandridge, it's 32 degrees here at my house. Have a great day. If you're on YouTube, let me know. Marilyn Bell, quick on the draw. Happy Thursday, YouTube, everyone. Enjoy your day. Thank you, Marilyn, for being here. As we take a look at the ultimate Doppler radar presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. It's like getting 2 car washes for the price of one. The best express car wash and vacuum in East Tennessee. Check them out at TidalWaveAutoSpa.com. And you'll notice it's pretty quiet across the state. We're not going to see much here today, but things will start to change by the time we hit late Friday night. Notice I said late Friday night, closer to midnight and into Saturday. It's still snowing, though, if you have family upstate in New York, Pennsylvania, Ohio, all downwind of the lakes. They're still seeing some active weather over there. And meanwhile, there's some concerns for winter weather in purple and pink from Kansas, North Texas, and back toward New Mexico, just to give you an idea of the playing field. And you might be wondering, what is that green area southwest of Atlanta? We're going into Alabama here. It looks like we've got freezing fog advisories. Oh, that's the worst, right? We talked about anytime you're in the 20s and you got fog, it's naturally freezing fog. Well, sometimes the Weather Service has to issue advisories when it's going to be bad, and they've got some issues down there. Okay, back to the temperatures we go. Because right now it's 32 in Oak Ridge if you're just joining me, as well as Clinton, 32 in Maryville, Alcoa, 33 in Newport, and 32 in Crossville and Fairfield Glade. Take note, this is an improvement over, say, this yesterday morning, because yesterday we got 24. And tonight, you ready for this? Tonight we're down to 22. A pair of 2s, that's cold. So if you got a little dress rehearsal yesterday morning, it's going to be clear, mostly clear, and really cold by tomorrow morning. We're talking Friday morning. It's going to be pretty cold if you're not a fan of the real cold chill, because it's just going to be dropping quite rapidly with very few clouds tonight. So those are our current temperatures here at 6:44. My goal is to be done at the top of the hour, and I believe I can accomplish that goal. No wind to speak of at McGee-Tyson or Oak Ridge, but there are some 7s there, 7 miles an hour in Jacksboro, Oneida, Middlesboro, so it naturally can bring down the feels-like temperature, the wind chill. It's the same thing. Oh, I heard we had a wind chill of 30 in La Follette. It's true. No, I heard we have a feels-like of 30 in La Follette. It's the same thing. It's just tomato, tomato. And then 33 in Kingston, feels like 27 in Crossville. Temperature right now, 35 Nashville if you're traveling this morning. Nobody's really that cold compared to, I mean, it's winter after all. And the normal low this time of year is 31. So we might be right in keeping for what one might expect in early January across the board. Now, let's talk about clouds. How long are they going to linger here? Probably until about 10 to midday. So from 10 to noon, it'll start to break. In some cases, you might get more sunshine at 10 than your neighbors. But I do think it'll be a lot brighter. By the time we hit 2, 3, pickup time, it's school time, right? We got school back in Knox County. So I want to talk about that with the bus stop forecast here in just a mere moment. But most of the precipitation, if not all of it, is beginning to leave this map. As you can see, it's back towards, say, the mid-Atlantic, Maryland, into New Jersey, Delaware, a couple of rain showers there, but it's pretty quiet elsewhere. Here are the high temperatures because I want to get more comments in here from you. 44 is what I expect today for Oak Ridge, Kingston, Maryville, Knoxville, and Newport. 43 for Morristown, Russellville, Talbot, and White Pine. 43 for La Follette and, say, Jacksboro and, say, Kerrville. And 40 for Crossville for high temperature. There'll be some 30s for Middlesboro for high, so it remains chilly even this afternoon. So good morning to you again. I'm going to say hi to Michael Hawk. Good morning. He's on Team Snow. Hang with me, Michael. I've got some interesting things to show you. And you really don't have to travel far over the next couple of weeks to start to see the snow begin to multiply. I'll explain what I mean in a moment. Let's go back to Facebook. Some of you are leaving some comments over here. Hallie Gibson says, I'm ready for snow. She's got a little snowflake there. Good morning, Hallie. Great to see you this morning. She's one of my premium members on Facebook. Pete says, good morning, Captain. Pete says, Happy New Year to all. Pete's glad to have you here. And Felicia, happy Thursday, back to school day. Cold, she says this morning, in South Knoxville. That's where she's reporting here, fixing a big cup of coffee to take kiddos to school. Glad to have you here, Felicia. Speaking of kiddos, let's get you to the sunset time, and the school bus stop forecast. So 7:46, 1 hour from right now. Look at that. It's 6:46. So our sun will be coming up at 7:46, and unless it's coming right over the horizon, many of us won't see much sun when it comes up. But boy, it's going to be blinding for the afternoon because the clouds will have moved out of the picture. So 5:35, if you're driving home at that time, you will want the sunglasses for the second half of the day. So the bus stop is going to be active again, right? After the long extended holiday break, we're talking about the bus 33, 35, and then by 2 o'clock, we should see a lot more sun. Boy, is it going to be bright by then. 43 at 2 o'clock, and as I mentioned, a high of 44 is expected. That could arrive as easily as by 3 o'clock or 3:30, which is typically when we're now seeing those high temperatures. It is 6:47, getting you out the door. Clouds of sun today, and that's really AM clouds, PM sun. I think we can focus on that. And if we get any stray flakes today, it's going to be in the Smokies, right? Just some of the clouds. Any of these clouds could produce a little flurry, and I mean like a really small flake, but again, confined maybe to the higher elevations. Sunshine, high clouds, the dominant feature tomorrow, and tomorrow's high should be about 48. So it's a little warmer. That's good, right? A little warmer on Friday. But Saturday, we're back to 45. And the caveat here, as you make plans for Saturday, it's likely to be quite soggy in the morning. It's not going to be it's not going to be brighter. Saturday afternoon, still gray. It's a gray day. But at least the active precipitation, still wet underfoot, but most of the precipitation Saturday should be in the morning and a drying trend for the afternoon. So if that helps you plan, I hope I can be of service to you. How much rain are we talking about? Let's take a look at some of the latest data. You could call this future rainfall, but again, it's just model driven, and it might put a half inch in your town, might put a little bit less. This one suggests 0.4 or 0.4 of an inch in Knoxville, and maybe a half inch or more from Oneida and Jamestown, and up towards southeast Kentucky, probably well north of Jellicoe into Williamsburg. So there's still some possibilities that you get over a half inch, but this seems to be the trend, and it's all going to be contingent on the track. But I got to show you this. If you are a fan of cold, by a show of comments, how many of you like really cold air? You like to bone chilling. It gets right to, maybe tomorrow morning's maybe your thing. But if you're not a fan, you might want to look away, because the 5,000 foot temperatures, which we look at quite a bit in the world of meteorology, because we need it cold air up there for it to snow down here. I want to focus on the purple areas, or pink, up in Canada, because some of that air can typically reflect to single-digit wind chills and highs in teens and 20s. Really cold air, right? And you say, well, at least it's up near Montreal or Maine, but it will come back around. You can see some red arrows through the 6th. That's this Saturday. We've got rain, right? But snow mixing in some of the plateau, and certainly Kentucky. I wouldn't be surprised if central Kentucky got a good snow this weekend. What? Yeah, I'm talking about a couple of inches, right? A couple of inches for maybe around Lexington. It's possible. If you're up there, make sure you watch Fox 56. That's a station I still freelance for. But I will tell you, they're going to be dealing with their good snow, I think, on Saturday. We're going to deal with rain, however. The cold air starts to wrap around. Notice the date. We're getting closer to Elvis's birthday, which is the 8th. That's Monday. We'll be in the low 50s. You say, well, that's great. It's warm. It looks warm to me. Well, what's the hubbubaloo? It's a head fake. It's a head fake because the purple air, like the tide at the ocean, wants to come back around, swing around, do-si-do from Rapid City, Denver, and eventually comes to Knoxville. That's the 16th. Ouch. So we have some of the coldest, nastiest, coldest air of the season still ahead of us. I mean, I know it's only the 4th, but that's what, 2 weeks away? 16th? Does it get any better here? Well, you be the judge. Looks worse to me. That's the 18th. Oh, make it stop. Some of you by the 18th will be waving a white flag. I suspect I'll be throwing an extra log on the fire just like you, and we'll be paying higher heating bills just like you. But January 18th, boy, is it nasty. And any precipitation we get during that time frame will undoubtedly be snow. There won't be a, will it be this? Will it be a little bit of that? Because that's what we're getting Saturday, right? Mostly rain with some snow mix. When it's this cold, well, then you have a pretty high confidence that it's only going to be of the snow variety. Is it any better on the 19th? Probably not. Covers the whole state of Tennessee. It was north of Montreal earlier in the month. Yeah, but now it's here, right? Winter comes to live on the 19th of January, based on and then 20th, not much better. But look, it's going to be frozen orange juice all the way down into Florida, too, so we're not alone in that. By the way, the snow potential associated with some of this cold, again, this is model-driven. It'll change. It's not a forecast, but I know there's an appetite for it, and I know it circulates on the web, but I do want to show you how heavy the snows are in pink. Pink areas represent about a foot. So over the next couple of weeks, if you're doing some traveling to Chicago, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, and up into New England, even West Virginia mountains could be hammered with some snow over the next couple of weeks. So that's a lot of snow over a long period of time, and we're not exempt. We're still on the playing field. I remind my premium members we could still get some snows in the short term and into the middle part of the month. But that too will change with each track timing and temperature difference. Right now it's 33 degrees at the airport. We have no wind and 85% relative humidity. No wind, 33 feels like 33. But here's where we're going. Some morning clouds give way to some afternoon sunshine, and we are lucky to hit 44 at McGee Tyson Airport. The normal high is 48. So we're about 4 degrees below normal. Want to say good morning to you. Was that a fun presentation? You feel like you've gone through the middle part of the month and you realize there's a lot of things that are going to be happening, right? So you want to stay tuned. I'll do my best to update you as well. By the way, normal high 48.31. Those are the normals today. The record low today is -4 from 1879, and we did hit 72 on this date in 2004. Let's check back in. Brad Brown sending me some stars. You're very kind, Brad. Thank you for your support. I do appreciate it that very much. Pete says, too bad. The missus has to go to Hawaii for a few days. Oh, now I'm jealous. Maybe just some warmth for a day to go off to Hawaii. But it takes more a full day just to get there and back with all the jet lag. Darcy says it's a balmy 38 this morning. Maybe that's a heat wave. I think that's a good way to look at it there, Darcy. She's also one of my premium members on Facebook. And I see Michael Hawk. He is a fan of the cold. I think he probably likes the long range, middle of the month outlook. We'll call it an outlook, really, for the middle of the month. Wanda Poe says, I'll be glad for snow, and she says she wants 6 inches. It would be nice. I think that would be certainly a good start, given the fact that we're under what I would just determine as a snow drought. Sure, we're under a drought, moderate drought in Knoxville, but we really haven't had any measurable snow since the day after Christmas in 2022. It's been a long time, folks. We're overdue. I think many of us feel it in our bones. By the way, precipitation chance is 80% on Saturday. That's a mainly rain event. And then a super soaker Tuesday. If we get a ½ inch of rain on Saturday, that would be generous, right? Anywhere from a little more than a ½ inch, I think, is reasonable. But Tuesday could be about an inch and a half. I mean, the quantity of rain on Tuesday lights out. It's a lot heavier on Tuesday, but it's still about an 80% chance because it could be, I wouldn't say scattered, but numerous showers are anticipated both on Saturday and Tuesday. Tuesday will be a little heavier for sure. We'll keep an eye on that as well. Here's the Storm Prediction Center. It's 6:54. I want to keep moving. There are going to be some spots for severe weather. Not today, but in the deep south for the next couple of days. Let me highlight those areas. But Dallas, Houston may get some general thunderstorms today. That's why they're highlighted in the lighter green. This includes Austin. It includes San Antonio, but nothing going on here as far as weather of the thunderstorms. You can see how the colors change. Friday, this includes New Orleans, Destin. It includes areas west of Tallahassee. Those areas, like Mobile, may have some isolated severe storms today. Friday, that's Friday. And it expands, sadly, on Saturday across much of Florida, which we'll take a look here as well. So if you're finding some relief by going to Florida, I know our Vols and all our fans were down there this past weekend for the game, for New Year's Day, which was Monday. But at least this Saturday, there may be some isolated severe storms anywhere from Jacksonville to Tampa to Orlando and down toward Cape Coral. So we're still watching that for the possibility of severe storms in the Sunshine State for Saturday. I just wanted to give you the eyes, or at least some pictures from our friends at the Storm Prediction Center. Now, you can see some of the models, which are not going to pick up very easily on radar, still hints that there's some flakes in the Smokies this morning as it departs. That's why I left some stray flakes in the wording of today's forecast. Now, by 11 a.m., it could still be snowing in Pike County, Kentucky. So if you're headed up there, some flakes may be spawned by the cold front that's sliding across the mid-Atlantic. By midday, it's pretty much gone. Sunshine's popped out. It's a bright finish, but a high of 44. Then Friday, that's the morning. That's Friday, 9 a.m. It's not until well into the dark period of, say, maybe 9, 10 o'clock that this rain starts to advance, and boy, does it get messy. So let's just break this down for a second. It's a mixed bag. It's mainly rain for Knoxville, right? It could start maybe as a flake. But there will be some heavier snows to the north and west toward Louisville, Cincinnati. And if you're traveling on the other side, we're talking around, say, the mountains of North Carolina, Asheville, or Boone, they may find an icy mix. So that's 7 o'clock, 7:15 Saturday, and it's going to be dependent on that low. The track is pretty much in line with what you see on this map, so I think it's a liquid event, but by the afternoon, most of that precipitation will have ended. And then the wraparound comes in on Sunday. So we got some drops, maybe changing to some flakes, especially for the mountains on Sunday. I left about now a 30% chance. I think even that will be generous. Most of it will be working its way eastward. Futurecast, there's another way to look at it. At 6:57, temperatures by 9:30, about 33. We haven't moved much. And this model takes the clouds out of the picture a little sooner than my taste. I think it's going to break between 10 and noon, 10 a.m. and noon. But 38 by lunchtime should finish the day about 44. And by 4 o'clock, we're starting the cooling process once again. And then we go all the way down, he says, down to about 22 degrees tomorrow morning. I think we'll get there. Let's see here, 6 a.m. Yeah, about 22 there in Maryville, 20 in Morristown. It's cold. 19 Jonesville. That's all on the table for tonight's lows. And then we'll finish tomorrow about 48, I think, by the afternoon. There's 3:30, 48, and 5 o'clock we're cooling. And then the rain comes in. You can see there may be some colors there that may change briefly, but it's mainly a liquid event for us. So for today, at 6:58, I'm expecting a high of 44, a chilly afternoon, and clouds will break to give way to some sunshine. We move ahead to Oneida, 39 today, Middlesboro, 38, and if you're in Tellico Plains or Madisonville, about 45, 46 for Athens there in McMinn County. Traveling today, they are in the 50s. To be fair, in Augusta, Georgia, 55. Even Atlanta, about 51 today, 46 in, say, Memphis for travelers on the road this morning or afternoon. Tonight, down to 22. That's cold, but certainly not record territory. Mostly clear. We'll just call it frosty, very cold and frosty, with a light wind out of the northeast, about 3 to 8 miles per hour. But we can, and it may very well, drop into the upper teens for our friends in Newport. Talking to you, Wanda Poe. 19, Maryland Bell, if you're out there in White Pine. 19, boy, that's cold. 21 could occur in Maryville, and 23 in Crossville. So some temperatures might be actually a little colder east, and maybe a few degrees warmer in quotation marks west. Because Crossville, I have us at 23, but 18 in Newport. That's some cold air. I don't know if you're ready for that cold. Well, that's tomorrow morning, so you want to tune in. Love to find out what you're seeing. Felicia, Crafty Adventures. It's going to be, if it's going to be that cold, we need snow with it. She says, I'm still on Team Spring. I love it. Thank you for that note on YouTube, Felicia. And back on Facebook, Darcy and Linda Rice just noted, good morning, David. Have a great Thursday. It's cold in Cumberland Gap. So thank you, Linda, for being here. Let's wrap things up here at 6:59. Let's get to the 7-day forecast. Looking ahead to the Captain Accurate Weather Authority forecast for Knoxville and East Tennessee. Clouds of sun today, stray mountain flakes. Sunshine tomorrow, yay, but there will be an increase in high cloudiness. We start the day tomorrow at 22. And then I don't have a morning quite as cold for a while. We'll get spoiled. Lows in the 30s for the days thereafter, but 45 Saturday, 49 on Sunday. And then Monday, Elvis's birthday, it'll be milder at 52. And then Tuesday, plan on a very heavy rain day. I'd say an inch to an inch and a half is probably going to be trending, at least right now, for Tuesday. And it could end as snow showers and flurries with some wraparound flakes to drops Wednesday, because we'll start the day around 35 degrees. So that's the way things are shaping up. By the way, if you want to be the first to see my snow forecast, I'd love to have you join us. You can even sample us if you wish, because if you go to the top of this Facebook page, there's a subscribe button. You can also go to CaptainAccurate.com and you'll find this URL, which is facebook.com/become-supporter/Aldrich Weather, just for 16 stars. That's all it takes. In fact, I believe Brad sent me 50. He's on his way to being a premium member if he just decides to join us. We'd love to have him on our platform. But if you want to join us, it's just $4.99 a month, price of a cup of coffee. Because this winter, this January, it's going to be quite active. I can say it, I can show it to you, but maybe you'll believe it when it happens. And maybe you want to be in the know. Well, what's Oliver Springs going to get? What's Jellicoe going to get? How much snow is so-and-so going to get? Well, join the premium service. That's what I want to be able to serve you. But I got to be able to have, that's what keeps me rooted here, not only financially, but also want to keep you informed as this winter gets a little more interesting in quotation marks. The premium service is just 2 streams of information on the same Facebook page. So if you've been on my Facebook page for months and years, you will see posts that others don't see if you join us on Captain Accurate Premium. You're also privy to my 15-minute winter weather outlook, which is also online. I've had that out since Halloween. I break down all the factors that I thought led up to what we're going to see. And I will tell you this, my snow totals are higher than I think everybody else in town. That's okay. We'll see how it plays out. But I'm very thankful for you and very thankful that we've made it to Thursday, right? Kids are getting back to school. It's now 7:02. Well, my name is David Aldrich. Some people call me Captain Accurate. It's not easy being accurate, so weather doesn't surprise you. We'll see you here next time. Take care.